many of you have been in a storm before? Snowstorm, rainstorm, tornado. You've been in a storm before? And typically, with those storms, we usually get some kind of warning, don't we? You know, we see the weather getting a little chilly, or we see the breeze coming really hard. We also can go outside and, can you smell the rain? I can. I can smell the rain when I'm out there. And then the clouds, they look a little dark. They look a little cloudy. We also have the meteorologists. We have all of those people giving us all these clues that there's a storm coming. You know what? I'm reminded, too, when I was a little girl and we were at church and, you know, the more senior choir, they would even kind of warn us, you know, when they would get up and sing, and then I knew when they started rocking and a reeling, and then they started doing all of this, I said, oh, they about to sing that song about them storm clouds that went something like this. There's a storm out on the ocean, and it's moving this way. And I would go, oh, goodness. Now, see, back then, I didn't know about storms. I didn't know about any storms of life. And all I knew is that when the storms came, I always had a warning. That is, until 2009. I am Lisa Yvette Jones, your chief encouragement, inspirational, and empowerment coach, counselor, and consultant. And yes, best-selling author. I am going to give you a few nuggets today because what I know you're going to do today, you're going to be encouraged. You're going to be inspired. You're going to be empowered. And you are going to be equipped to navigate your storm. You know, 2009 started off like any other year. I was about 360-something pounds. And I said, January, I am going to lose weight. I am going to go to the gym. And there I was in there getting it. I was doing it. I was working up a sweat. January 5th came, people started asking me, Lisa, how's it going? I said, it's going great. Oh my goodness. January 15 came, and I came down with, when people asked me, well, what happened was, okay, and just kind of fell off of that. Oh, come on, don't judge me. Some of you fell off of it at, the 5th? Okay, did you make it to the 15th? Okay, but then I said, okay, enough of that. I'll move on from that. Then February came, and then without warning, we got devastating news that our mother had a mild stroke. Oh my goodness, see, I'm the second oldest of 7 children, born to a single-parent household. My mother was dynamic. And for those of you out there who know her, the late and great Queenie Victoria Thompson, yes, a recording artist, was just amazing with her children. And this devastated us. And then we kept saying, man, there were no warnings. But were they? I want you to write this down. My mother was hypertensive for decades. That's a warning. My mother had congestive heart failure. That's a warning. Okay, my mother had diabetes. That's a warning. My mother was overweight. That's a warning. But let me tell you, we joined our faith with our mothers, and my mother came through that. She was in the hospital in rehabilitation for a couple of months, and then she came through that. She came home, and I'm telling you, it was about then, this time in 2009. This time, it was a few days before my birthday. By the way, my birthday is on April 12th. In a couple of days, I'll give you my Cash App after this speech, okay? And seriously, it is. And seriously about that Cash App, okay? I'm just keeping it real. And I decided, you know what? We have done all this to take care of our mother. You know what I'm getting ready to do? I am going to give myself a gift. I am going to go, and ladies, I gave myself the gift of going to have that yearly appointment. You know that yearly appointment when we're in the stirrups. You know, the one we just love? Not. But we know it's necessary, right? That's another nugget. It's necessary. Keep that appointment. So I made that appointment. I said, you know what? I'm getting everything all checked out. I'm going to be great. And I got it. And then all of a sudden, I got a phone call. You need to come in. Your results are abnormal. And all the years I've been getting them like clockwork, my results had never been abnormal. I said, okay, I'll go in. And then there was just something else, too, about me. I was at such a peace. I just could not believe it. I was like, I am at a peace that passes all understanding. Nothing could upset me. My mother was home. I was about to celebrate a birthday. My mother's birthday was on April 18th. Mother's Day is coming. There could be nothing that can take away my peace. And then I got those results. And it was like, okay, what next? I serve a God. He's a healer. He's a deliverer. What do you got next? And I said, it can't be that bad. I don't have any history of real things that can really kind of take me out. And then she said, I'm going to refer you. She referred me. And then that person said, I'm going to refer you to a gynecologic oncologist. I said, well, I know what an oncologist is. Come on now. Do you see cancer? It just came out of my mouth. Now, mind you, there is no history of cancer in my family. Not one woman had cancer in my family, so I don't even know why I said it. And then I had the biopsy. And he started asking me thousands of questions like all the other ones. And I was like, Doc, handle your business, you know? And then all of a sudden, a few days later, I received a phone call. And they said, Ms. Jones, your surgery is scheduled for Monday. I said, what surgery? Nobody's told me anything. And they said, oh my God, no one's told you? I said, told me what? They said, you've been diagnosed with stage 3 cervical cancer. And it's a high grade papillary serous carcinoma of the cervix. And they said, you're already in stage 3. I said, how? I said, I look good. I feel good. I'm at peace. And you're going to tell me something like this? I ain't believing it. And they said, Ms. Jones, if you don't have that surgery in 2 days, death sentence number 1 came, you will die. And then I said, I just can't understand that. So then I said, I want a second opinion. I got that second opinion. And that man pulled the chair up to me and looked me in my eyes and said, Ms. Jones, he said, all I need you to decide right now, either it's going to be me that do the surgery or you're going to get somebody else. Because from the time you had that first pathological report to now, your whole cervix is full of the cancer. And we now see spots on your ovaries and your uterus. What are you going to do? I said, Doc, just give me a minute. He said, you don't have a minute. I said, I need some time. So I then did as we normally do in regular storms. So, you know, in regular storms, you know, they tell you to shelter in place. Then they tell you, and I don't know about you guys, you know, we had it like a little SOS system going. You know, we would shelter in place and get really safe. And then we would make sure that wherever we were, when that storm came in our home, that we would make sure there were no objects over our head to mess with our head in case the storm just came and just rocking and railing and things, you know, get knocked over. We wanted to make sure we protected our head. And then we stayed in safety until we knew it was safe to come out. Okay? Well, then I said, you know what? It's time for me to then shelter in place. How many of you know that it is time to pray when a storm comes? And that's exactly what I did. And then I shared it with a few people, see, because I couldn't tell everybody. You have to know who you can talk to. You have to know those who have the words and the worth of prayer, to know the power of it and stand with you in it. So I had people like a Mother Hurd, a Mother Laura Hurd. Boy, Mother Hurd said the Holy Spirit told her to fast for me for 30 days. How many of you can use a Laura Hurd in your life who will fast with you and fast for you for 30 days? She did that. I then told my ex-husband at the time, okay, because we were still good friends. That's another nugget, ladies, okay? That ain't a part of this speech, but take note of that, okay? You can be an ex and still be friends, okay? That one was for free. And then, you know, I didn't want to tell my son. My son was finishing his studies at the prestigious Cranbrook Kingswood School. He was a boarding student, and I didn't want to interrupt his studies. So then I said, Lord, this just can't be. But on that third day, I sheltered in place. And what I had to do was get into a place of safety. And then what I had to do was make sure that I was getting out of my head all those things that could destroy it. And I had to remember that Isaiah 26:3 told me that if you will keep your mind on him, he will keep you in perfect peace. So I had to remember that. And I stayed in that place of safety until I heard, this is not unto death, and you will not die. Now, 2 doctors had gave me a death sentence, and I then had to go to the chief physician and get my real results. So I went back to the first doctor. I said, okay, here it is. I am not having that surgery in a day and a half. I will go ahead and have the surgery, but not in a day and a half. I need about a month and a half. He said, well, Ms. Jones, I will see you later. He said, and I wish the best to you and your family. And I said, doctor, are you going to do this surgery or not? I am going to have it on June 29th. He said, that's almost 2 months away. It's a month and I said, it's a month and a half. It ain't 2 months. Stop being dramatic. Okay, who was being dramatic, right? It was me. And I'm telling you, I said, doctor, I need you to stand with me. He said, I need you to stand with me, and I need your words to line up with mine. That's another thing. Take control of your health, people. Make sure that your doctors, you know that they know that you are a partner with them. Okay, so you make sure that whatever don't line up with God, that you make sure that you let your doctors know. So then I told him on June 29th, he looked at me, he said, Ms. Jones, why do I believe I'm going to see you on June 29th? I said, because I've already gone to the chief physician. He said, you went over my head? I said, yes, I went over all our heads. I went to the healer. I went to the one that I know who was going to help you with this surgery. So on June 29th, I had that surgery. I did not die. I lived. You are looking at a living, breathing, walking, talking, moving miracle of God. And I told you, now, I didn't have any warnings, right? But I did have a warning. I was 360-something pounds. I'm not 360-something pounds today. I've lost 192 pounds. Okay? Changing. Thank you. Changing the trajectory of our health. So I will tell each and every one of you, whatever it takes, you get in place and you shelter. Whatever it takes, you get in place to get your mind stayed on God. Whatever it takes, you stay in safety and allow him to direct your path. See, I had to trust him with all my heart and lean not to my own understanding, but in all my ways acknowledge him and allow him to direct my paths. I had to have now faith, not yesterday faith, not tomorrow faith. I had to have now faith in that time. I had to make sure that I relied on everything that brought me through and helped me to bring others through. I had to rely on that for me. And I wish the same for each and every one of you. I am Lisa Yvette Jones, your chief encouragement, inspirational and empowerment coach, counselor, and consultant. I know you were inspired today. Can I hear it? I know you were encouraged today. Can I hear it? I know that you were empowered today. And I know that you were equipped. You can get in touch with me at LisaYvetteJones@gmail.com. Thank you very much.